third grade friends. It's Miss Heather from the library, and I wanted to tell you about mystery books that I like, and in case you're looking for one to read to fulfill your 40-book challenge. So before I show you the books, I thought we'd talk for a minute about what a mystery book is. So in a mystery book, there's a detective, which is sometimes called a sleuth, and they can be like a police officer or just an ordinary person. And what they're going to do is they're going to figure out who did it. So they're going to solve the puzzle, figure out who committed the crime, and make things right again by the end of the book. And often they're in series. So in a mystery series, there'll be the same characters, the same detectives or sleuths, and in every book they solve a new crime or crimes. And it's kind of a fun way to get hooked on reading a bunch of cool books, or you could just try one to see if you like the genre. So this is a silly book called Inspector Flytrap by Tom Angleberger, and it's illustrated by the graphic novelist C.C. Bell, who wrote El Deafo. And this is a very short book, and there's 3 or 4 of them in the series, and it's about an actual Venus flytrap who solves crimes with the help of his partner, the goat, or his assistant, the goat Nina, who likes to chew on things. And of course, this is Miss Bridget's favorite series in the library, and these are the Lunch Lady books by Jarrett Krasoska. And the Lunch Lady has a day job of making food for everyone in the school, just like our kitchen friends do. But in this series, the Lunch Lady has a side job solving crimes. And this is the first one in the series, Lunch Lady and the Cyborg Substitute. And Miss Bridget has told me many times how much she thinks she loves and appreciates them. And these are just graphic novels. They're pure graphic novels. That's the format. This is a newer series called Fabio, the World's Greatest Flamingo Detective. And the first one in the series is called Mystery on the Ostrich Express. And it's a flamingo solving crimes. And these are not super hard, and a little humor there. I really like the West Meadow Detective series, and in this series, they take place in a school, and all the West Meadow detectives are in this one class together because they all have neurological differences. So one character has autism, for example, and what's really great about these books is that in these characters use their neurological difference to their advantage in figuring out who committed the crimes. And this is the first one in the series called The Case of the Snack Snatcher. And this is also a not very hard or very long chapter book series. I like the Chicken Squad, Chicken Solving Crimes. This is another fun, short, humorous mystery series. And chickens are the protagonists. And the first book in the series is called The First Misadventure. And here is another new mystery series. And these are shorter as well. And they're by Hope Paris. And the series is called Greetings from Somewhere. And the first one in the series is called The Mystery of the Gold Coin. And so in these books, there's a brother and a sister and they have to move somewhere. But before they do, they get involved in a mystery and they have to figure out what happened. These are 3 mystery series by Ron Roy, A to Z Mysteries, Calendar Mysteries, and Capital Mysteries. And these are really great if you want a very short book, or if you're just starting to read chapter books on your own. And there really are 26 A to Z Mysteries because he really did write one for every letter of the alphabet. And Marty Fry, Private Eye, is another easy short mystery series. And the first one is called The Case of the Missing Action Figure. And this would be a good one to read if you didn't know whether or not you'd like to read mysteries and you just want to read a really short one to try it out. Here are 3 classic series, Nancy Drew, The Boxcar Children, and The Hardy Boys. And Nancy Drew books, the first one was published in 1930, so 90 years ago. And these were some of the first books where they had a female hero who was really empowered and who took action on her own. And the first book in the Nancy Drew series is called Secret of the Old Clock. The first Hardy Boys book, these are about the brothers, Frank and Joe Hardy, and they've been around almost as long as Nancy Drew. And the first one is called The Tower Treasure. And they are like the same size with the same kind of covers as the Nancy Drew books. And this is the first book in the Boxcar Children series by Gertrude Warner. And this is a series about a group of orphans who live in a boxcar, which is like a train car that's not attached to a train anymore. And because they're orphans and they don't have parents anymore. And they solve crimes. And this is a new cover for the book. And this book has also been around since I think like 1948. But the Hardy Boys and the Nancy Drew are pretty much reinvented for every generation. And so this is the Hardy Boys Adventures. And the first one in this Hardy Boys Adventure series is A Treacherous Tide. Now, did you notice that they say they have the same author? Franklin Dixon and Carolyn Keene, that's a pseudonym for a lot of different people who've written Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books over the years. So there they are on stand-up paddleboards. And this is the Nancy Drew Diaries, and the first one in this kind of reboot series is called The Vanishing Statue. And again, says it's by Carolyn Keene, and there are really a lot of different people who write the Nancy Drew books. Here is a mystery series that is a little bit funny and tongue-in-cheek called Timmy Failure. And the first one in the series is called Mistakes Were Made. And if you like Wimpy Kid books and you want to try out a mystery, Timmy Failure might be a really good choice for you. Timmy Failure is not a particularly gifted detective, but he does have a detective agency that he is running. Here is one of my favorite sort of adventurous puzzle mysteries, Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. This is a good one for people to read if they want to read a longer, more difficult chapter book, or to read out loud with a grown-up if you do a family read aloud, which I love, and I recommend people keep doing family read alouds even after they can, even after you can read on your own. It's still super awesome and fun to read together with the whole family. So Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library is about a group of kids who are locked in the library, this fantastic, imaginative, wonderful, creative library, and they have to work together to figure out how to get out. Here is a brand new book, which I just found out because the book fair started today, and I was looking through what they had for sale at the book fair, and this is their book fair. And this book is called The Amelia Six by Kristen Gray. And so this is about 6 girls who get to have a sleepover at the aviator Amelia Earhart's old childhood home. And Amelia Earhart, of course, that's a real character. She was an aviator, and she was trying to fly around the world when her plane went down, and that was in the 1930s. And so she's a real historical character, but this is a fiction book about these 6 girls who are trying to find out what happened to Amelia Earhart's lost glasses. And this just came out this summer. I like the series, The Great Shelby Holmes. This is the Sherlock Holmes reboot series. And Shelby Holmes is a girl, and she lives in a brownstone in New York. And her downstairs neighbor is the Watson character. And it's like kind of nice to reimagine Sherlock Holmes books for the new generation. And the first one is called The Great Shelby Holmes. Here's another one to try if you like graphic novels or Wimpy Kid books. It's called The Real McCoys by Matthew Swanson and Robbie Bear. And this book it's a chapter book, but there's illustrations, so many illustrations on every single page. And a large part of what's happening with the story is told by those illustrations that really pull the story forward. Chris Gravenstein just edited this anthology, which is a group of mystery stories it's called Puzzle-tastic Mysteries. Short stories for young sleuths from Mystery Writers of America. So the Mystery Writers of America is a guild or a group of people who write mystery books for a living. And really famous mystery authors have contributed to this story for young readers. And this would be super fun to read with a friend or with a family member. And then you could take turns reading one of the short mystery stories and then talk about who you think did it at the end. And could you figure it out? Can you figure out from the clues that you're given in the book who did it? Here is Case Closed, series by Lauren Magaziner, and these are choose your own adventure mysteries. And I think that there are some, or at least one of them in Miss Natalie's classroom, but there are 3 or 4 out now that have been published. And the first one's called The Mystery in the Mansion. And just like any other choose your own adventure, choosable path story, what you do is you read along and then you come to a point where you have to make a decision. And do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And if I want to go one way, I turn to one page and read what happens from there. And if I make a different decision, I can go on another page. Okay, so 3rd grade, I want you to read every day. I want you to remember that I care about you and I'm thinking about you. And I hope you found a mystery book that looks good. And if you have time, you can check out the book fair. The link is on the library Canvas page. And let me know which books you think I should buy for our library.